So where did they build the engines? Funnily
enough, a guy yesterday kept asking me daft questions. Like he said, "Is this all original furniture in here?"
I mean, how
could it be? But yeah, he also said, like, so there would be Harleys going up and down here. And no,
Horses and cars.
Yeah.
Hey, hello everyone! Welcome to the channel, and we are here with Rob and Kenny on the Sportglide, and we are doing a rewrite to the Davidson Legacy Cottage as part of a meet and ride of Sportglide riders. Shall we? Let's go, and I'm leading the way. Never been there, but I'm leading the way. So we met here in Perth at the Broxton services, and this road surface is a bit strange here, and we're gonna make our way through Cooper Angus and so on until we get to the Davidson Cottage, which I've never been before. So I figured that this would be a perfect opportunity to go there and share the day with some other Sportglide riders. In this case, just 3 showed up, so we are gonna have a blast. It will be an awesome day. The weather is kind of nice as well, up until 6 o'clock, so we'll make sure we finish by then. And we are here, the Davidson Legacy Cottage, and let's do a bit of off-road. We made it! Whoa. We didn't get lost.
Didn't like that, like. Eh? Didn't like that, but.
Oh, this bit's here, a bit dodgy, but it's fine.
I'll show you around then, guys.
I think that must have been here yesterday. He was up yesterday.
There we go.
Yeah, he was up.
Alright, yeah. Getting in. Brad, you're on camera.
Oh, no.
There's your bed. Oh, wow.
I see that.
I can touch a roof. I can touch it with my head. If I jump.
That's a different stove from what was in here. I've got the original one in the garage up there, but that's similar year. It's not far out year-wise. It's made in Scotland, the Park House Ironworks, in near the Carbon Works in Falkirk. But they went down. Carbon kept going, kind of thing. But it was actually sold in Dundee. There's a wee plaque on it there from GH Nickel & Co in Dundee, a big ironmonger. They used to sell stuff all over the Baltic region from Dundee, but managed to find it. It took a year to find one that would actually work, and it was down in Norwich, funnily enough. It was in a farmer's kitchen, like big. The kitchen was about the size of this cottage, you know, and it was sitting away in the corner just as a kind of an item of, you know, interest. And a guy down south that puts in stoves, he said they're all going back in now into houses and stuff like that, old fireplaces and that. His dad used to take fireplaces out. Everyone was just smashing them at that time, but he kept them all, so he ended up with hundreds of them. Like, so I managed to get a Scottish hot plate fire for through there, and this is a contemporary one for in here. And it's a good stove, it works really well, you know.
I take it there was, wouldn't have been timberline like that.
Yeah, there were. Yeah, there was still, fortunately, there was an old woman lived in here till about 2002, and her family never changed anything. They lived in it the way you see it now, kind of thing. Even when the roof caved in, she was still living in here. She moved everything into this one room. And the bed was still in the corner there. I mean, all the rubble was on top of it, but the bed was still there, and she was using the old stove. She didn't have any water, no electricity, and no toilet. There's a porta cabin on the other side of the road there, and there was a key on a pole that used to be there, which was still there when we got this place. And she used to go into the porta cabin and get like a bucket of water every morning about 7 o'clock, according to the locals. And her push bike was still under the stairs. She used to push bike into Brechin. She worked in the fish shop in Brechin. But yeah, 2002 she was living in here, you know. But yeah, like I say, there was 10 people in here, 1851 census. There'd be Sandy and Margaret, 6 kids. Actually, the 8 kids, but 2 of them died young, as happened in those days. Yeah. But yeah, they upped sticks in 1857. Locked the door, hang the key back, and get in a horse and cart and go down and jump on a boat, you know. But no records of what boat they got or anything. But yeah, they went over to stay in Milwaukee to be near their relative, which was her mum kind of thing. She'd gone off in 1843. But I was looking at that as well, like 1822 was the first time that a captain had to write down who was on his ship. Like they never ever used to write it down before, so if he died you just got thrown over the side.
There you go.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah. I'll show you through here. Yeah, this is like a good room, which a lot of Scottish houses, even though they were really small and had loads of people, they kept a room good for when the minister came round on Sunday. And one of the older locals said that she remembers a box bed in this corner as well, which kind of makes sense with the amount of people that were in it, you know.
But did you not say they had extended up the way?
Yeah.
So how did you get there?
There's 2 bedrooms out of the stairs.
Oh, is it upstairs?
Yeah, it looks really small from the outside, but it's kind of a wee bit like a TARDIS, you know. That's a picture of Sandy and Margaret there. Got this from Gene Davidson, and this is when they arrived in America. Have a guess, how old do you think he is there?
I would say kind of hard to tell because of the big beard.
Yeah,
age somebody can't.
Yeah,
really.
she's a year younger than him, but
probably 40s, is it?
No,
not even that. Younger?
Yeah, he's 52. 52, yeah. I just like asking because I get some really wild guesses like 80.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's just funny because some of them are probably because I posted some of the stuff on Facebook, but I've got pictures of some of my relatives, you know, turn of the century type pictures. Yeah. And I know what age they are in the picture because I've got their birth certificates and that. They're relatively young people, they were in their 20s. But you look at them because of the way they dress and kind of like you say, facial hair, and they never smile in a photo. You know, they're in their 20s, but you would have said, oh, they're 60s or 70s, you know what I mean? It's like,
it's quite amazing actually, but brave man at 52 if you think of having a steady job and a roof over your head, kids at school, blah, blah, blah. To say, right, let's bugger off, take a huge chance, like they didn't know what they were going to, you know. So yeah, I'll show you through here. There's a wee pantry through the back here. Yeah, that's just where they would have kept their milk and cheese and stuff like that. It's all the original stonework in there. Like I say, the old woman and her family never changed anything, you know. Like you could have broken through, put an extension on, made bigger windows, all that kind of stuff. They just lived in it the way it was, you know.
good thick walls out of the way.
I know. The north wall's a wee bit thicker than the south one, you know, just because of the weather, I suppose. But it's always cold in there. It works quite well, you know.
That question, but see when he actually died, was he well off when he died?
Yeah. Well, William C., father of the founders, he built the shed, the 10 by 15 shed with Harley-Davidson written on the door. It was him that built that for his sons to start the company. But William's house in Milwaukee is a mansion, and he also had a mansion up near the lakes. A lot of them did, in fact, one of them bought one of the lakes kind of thing. They were really wealthy. Within, starting 1903 by, what did Gene say, it was about 1910 that they were mixing with high society. She showed me pictures of them sitting with, not presidents, but kind of politicians and stuff like that. They were kind of high society within, because the company did really well. Even early days, they did really well. And the reason that they sold so many bikes was over in America, it wasn't how fast it was, although they did race them kind of thing, but most of the races were endurance races. So you'd go from point to point, and it was all kind of back roads and that. They were just dirt tracks. And it would go from point to point, and it was Walter Davidson that did all the endurance races and stuff. And more than 70% of the bikes wouldn't make it, it'd break down in some way, but he managed to complete most of the races that he did. So folks thought, if I'm going to buy a bike, I want something that's going to be reliable, and that's what really sold them early days. They, from the 10 by 15 shed, I think the next one was about 5 times that size, still a wooden structure, but stupidly they built it next to the railway line, but not right next to the railway line. It was railway property, and they actually went overrun as railway property, and the railway crew came along and said, no, you're going to have to move that. They'd finished the building. So there's pictures in Gene's book of loads of guys with poles underneath the building, moving it about 3 feet or something like that, just because it was on their ground,
I suppose the other thing that helped them in those days is the fact that America, it's a big country, but relative to how we view it nowadays, it was still relatively isolated. I mean, it takes a long time to take a boat across. And the French and that were the folk that were bolting engines onto bikes and stuff. You're not easily going to import them, so if you're building them there, you've got a market, haven't you?
That's right, and it's funny the way it went.
An open goal.
Funny the way it went, because there wasn't only, they did it here as well, you could buy an engine. No, in fact, they did it different over here. It was companies that could buy engines from other folk, build their own frame, and then sell the bike and thing. But over there was so many different names around it, and they're really rare things now. There's kind of really hard to find kind of thing, because there were small numbers of them, but loads of folk were able to buy, so-and-so's made an engine, I'll buy that, make my own frame, or I can buy a frame from them, put this engine in it, and do my own running gear and stuff like that. So there's a lot of strange named things that popped up around about that time. Maybe not even to create a business out of it kind of thing, just for their own use of it. There's a lot of stuff like that. I'll show you up here. Just watch, the stairs are kind of steep. You need to watch your heads at the top.
Rabbits are animal.
There's one of my pairs. I had a Swedish guy in here, he was standing in the middle, and he was standing like that. He was, I don't know, 6'7" or something he was. So you can see the difference with just having the 2 rooms and a thatched cottage kind of thing to them just doing that with the wall heads. It was enough to get this in here, quite a good space for them,
It must have been cold in the winter time, eh?
It is, I've tried it out.
You said it was a thatched roof though, didn't you? You said it was a thatched roof.
It was originally when it was 2 rooms. It might have been warmer then, I think it would have been, because I've had the fires on I don't like leaving them, even if there's an ember in it, I can't walk away, get paranoid about it.
Can't say a win.
But I've had them on over a long weekend and I've stayed here in the winter kind of thing, and the heat just, you'd think it'd come through the floorboards, and maybe it does a wee bit.
I think possibly it's maybe something that would take time to build up.
I think the stove down there would have been the engine room light. I'm sure Mrs. Davidson got up 6 o'clock in the morning, got that on, and it would have been on all day. You get your hot water off it and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe over a period of time it would heat up. But the way it's built, they call it bull and clay. It's like bulls or stones off the field, just clay as a mortar. That's all it is. Kind of scary when you're rebuilding it, right enough. But because of that, you use lime mortar and let the thing breathe. But it means in the summer it heats up, and at the tail end of the year, just a few weeks from now kind of thing, it'll actually be warmer in here than it is outside, and it's the opposite in the spring. Like, it's so cold, it takes so long to heat up. Yeah, mind your head's going through there again.
You added up here, I know. Of its size.
But
So where did they build the engines? That was all right then.
Funnily enough, a guy yesterday kept asking me daft questions. Like he said, "Is this all original furniture?" And
I mean,
how could it be? And he also said,
I think kind of surprised if there was a double bed in here, to be perfectly honest.
I know, yeah. But yeah, he also said, like, so there would be Harleys going up and down here. And no,
horses and cars.
Yeah. I don't know, he just didn't get it.
Didn't get it around the scene.
No.
I just wonder how they managed to get so many kids when everybody's living under one roof.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're long winters, but you'd need somewhere to fucking do the business, you know. Yeah.
You're all going to school.
I know, yeah.
But Mum, it's 9 o'clock at night. You gotta go to school.
I have to do something like that. Yeah, just watch going down the stairs.
might be a wee cottage, but that's still big than any other modern 2-bedroom house.
It's not bad size, really.
No.
It's just properly if you were in that position to actually modernise, which you wouldn't do with this, but if you were going to.
Yeah, we'd be left with
this guy here's Arthur Harley-Davidson. That's the guy I was telling you about. His dad started the company, he was 96, he signed it down there.
That's a family tree, like that.
Yeah. We had to put that together because Harley didn't have a family tree, and they use that one now,
So you done all the work for them?
Yeah. But that was all good fun, Don't know if any of you been to the Milwaukee Museum.
No.
If you ever get a chance, it's really worth seeing.
Milwaukee.
In the museum there, normally in a museum, all the bikes are restored, they look immaculate and stuff like that. The bikes there, you'd think that, but they're right off the production line. They did it from 1915. They took take one off behind. They did it from 1915, and they've got tons and tons of stuff there, way through the back that folk never see. There was a set of buttons on the wall, and it was from here, the board over there. And this guy, Bill Jackson, he's the archives manager. Pressed the button, all these bells went off and they went like that, and the doors opened. And in here, both sides was 3 high. And it's all the bikes, some models that Ferdinand Porsche got involved in way back. I know he did V-Rod and stuff like that, but he did other bikes. There was a little V4 that they did and stuff, and there was clay models in there of things that they thought of but never went to production. So all the stuff that you'd never see or never knew that they did they were all in this archive. It was quite amazing. And we got to go a lot of places, especially through this guy, Jim Frick. He started off the Jimi Hendrix Museum in California, and he ran the museum over in Milwaukee, and it was him that come out with documents and stuff, and he's saying this will never be seen like, and he's got all these little drawers, and he's going, I will get that, I will get that. It was absolutely brilliant, but he doesn't work there anymore.
Thanks very much.
He signed the visitors book as well. You'll be in good company. We've got quite a lot of Davidsons in there, and you have a look through it if you want. There's
You and McGregor must be in there.
We've invited him up here. He's never been up.
Time to sign the book as well. Why not?
Good man.
Signing it for you, sir.
Good stuff.
And then I'm gonna put here Zors. We left the Davidson Legacy Cottage, and that was a blast. Really enjoyed that. That was quite good. It is the case, we can absolutely say that Harley-Davidson would not exist the way it is today, and well, it would most likely not be called Harley-Davidson if it wasn't for the Scotsmen that left Scotland and go to America. I can relate a bit with that because, of course, I left the Azores to come to Scotland, and of course I haven't built a Harley-Davidson brand or anything, but I can relate a bit with leaving your country to pursue a better life. And I do not regret the choice I made.
I don't know if you know.
Aye.
That's the biggest hedge in the world.
Oh, is it? I was actually saying this is absolutely awesome.
Yeah?
Jesus.
This is it's the biggest hedge in the world. It's the biggest in the world.
The biggest in the world. Well, no wonder. Jesus, this is
Of interest to you.
for YouTube. Like and subscribe.
I knew we passed it somewhere, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, actually I saw this some time ago, like on a Facebook picture or whatever, but never been through here.
Well,
this is
cost them about
massive.
£50,000 or something to get it trimmed every couple of years.
Aye.
Because it's so big.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Might be a lot of work, eh?
It's not for sure.
Aye. If you do want to support the Davidson Legacy Cottage, because they only run basically on donations of visitors like us. If you want to donate, you can donate through the website. I'll leave the website down here, and you can get yourself a pin and a patch as well. So I'll be doing that. I'll be getting my pin and my patch too. I think it is great that the guys are trying to preserve the history of the Davidson family before they went on to America to pursue that American dream and build a brand such as the Harley-Davidson. So we are gonna go home now. It was an awesome day. Weather was alright, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me the thumbs up. If you didn't, well, there is a thumbs down there as well. And if you are enjoying the content that I'm making here on the channel, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button, and well, as you are done there, click the bell button so it activates the notifications every time I post a new video. Right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Ride safe, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. And look at this back of these bikes, and this sound, eargasmic. Woohoo! Hasta la vista.